All right, bruv, we're back with the Devil's Picture books. A history of playing cards, which I have not read a chapter from in several, maybe a week and a half. We go to the section of materials. The process of manufacturing playing cards now deserves attention. It seems that the first packs of tarots, which have been preserved, were made of two pieces of cardboard and were afterward pasted together. The backs had a checkered pattern designed on them and were placed so as to overlap the face, and the diapered edge was carefully pasted down and formed a protection and a frame to the pictured side. It may be as well to quote here the graphic account given by Mr. Chatto in his Facts and Speculations on Playing Cards. He says, the following account of the manner of making cards at the manufactory of Messengers de la Rue and Company of London is extracted from Bradshaw's Journal, April 16th, 1842. The first object that engages our attention is the preparation of the paper intended to be formed into cards. It is found that ordinary paper, when submitted to pressure, acquires a certain degree of polish, but not sufficient for playing cards of the finest quality. In order, therefore, that it may admit of the high finish which is afterwards imparted, the paper is prepared by a white enamel color consisting of animal size and other compounds. This substance, which renders the paper impermeable to the atmosphere, is laid on with a large brush and left to dry. The paper being ready for use, we proceed to explain the printing of the fronts of the cards, which are technically distinguished as pips and teats. Tetties? No one ever accused me of being intelligent. To commence with the simpler, the pip, that is, the hearts, diamonds, spades, and clubs, sets of blocks are produced, each containing 40 engravings of one card. And as the ordinary method of letterpress printing is employed, 40 impressions of one card are obtained at the same moment. As the pips bear but one color, black or red, they are worked together at the hand press or steam printing machine. For the tets, however, or court cards, which with the outline contain 5 colors, dark blue, light blue, black, red, and yellow, a somewhat different contrivance is employed. The colors are printed separately and are made to fit into each other with great nicety, is the same manner as in printing silks or paper hangings. For this purpose, a series of blocks are provided, which, if united, would form the figures. The figure intended to be produced. By printing successfully from these blocks, the different colors fall into their proper places until the whole process is completed. After the printing is done, the sheets are carried into a drying room, heated to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and are allowed to remain there 3 or 4 days in order to fix the colors. In France, the card generally consists of 2 pieces of paper, but in England a more substantial article is required. It is generally 4 sheets thick, that is, the foreside and the back, and 2 inside layers of an inferior description. The pasting of these sheets together requires care and clever manipulation. After the sheets are pasted together, they are thoroughly dried, enameled, and then cut into cards, which are sorted by being laid out on a table about 200 at a time, until all the cards that constitute a pack are spread out, so that by this operation 200 packs are completed almost simultaneously. The best cards are called moguls, the others Harrys and Highlanders. Paper was almost a necessity in card making, and England could not have provided it when cards were first made there, as the art of paper making was unknown before the reign of Henry VII, who lived from 1485 to 1509. Even as late as the days of Queen Anne, paper was imported from Germany for the purpose. Many other materials have been used in manufacturing cards besides paper. As has been mentioned, beautiful packs have been painted on ivory or mother of pearl. Parchment and leather have been often used. Thin tablets of wood and large leaves have been pressed into service, as well as stout paper, which was neither card nor pasteboard. The Chinese and Hindus sometimes used the cotton paper so stout and smooth as to make it most suitable for the purpose, and the curious wooden sticks carved with distinguishing figures used by the Haida Indians show perhaps the most peculiar materials used in the manufacture of games. Mr. Chatto mentions a pack of Hindustani cards in the Museum of the Royal Asiatic Society, which are made of canvas and are said to be 1,000 years old. He says, on first handling them, they seem to be made of thin veneers of wood. These cards are circular, and the figures or marks appear to be executed by hand, not printed nor stenciled. The Malays use cards made of coconut or palm tree leaves, which are first well dried, and the symbols or distinctive characters are then traced on the leaf with an iron style. A story in the history of the conquest of Florida by Garcilaso de la Vega relates that the soldiers who were engaged in the expedition, having burnt all their cards after the Battle of Manoila about 1542, made themselves new ones of parchment, which they painted admirably, as if they had followed the business all their lives. But as they either could not or would not make so many as were wanted, players had the cards in turn for a limited time. Such fragile and thin materials have sometimes been used in the production of cards that dealing was difficult and shuffling impossible. One very beautiful pack has been produced and is preserved in the South Kensington Museum in London, which was embroidered on silk. Such materials as gold, silver, and tortoiseshell, and even small tiles have been used in the manufacture of cards. But when made from these materials, they have been difficult to handle and have been regarded only as curiosities. And at the present day, thick pasteboard, either highly enameled or quite without glaze of any kind, is in general use all over the world. And that's the end of that chapter, bruv. Next time, it will be name. The first positive mention of playing cards. Goodbye.